Hey, what's up, guys? It's funny, at this late date, I've actually found halfway decent comics, which is pretty good in this day and age. Obviously, uh, DC, because I was always a DC guy. DC has gotten it's so bad. It's not even it's not even funny. Marvel, ironically, they have started it, or they've made some comics that don't have any of that stuff that's not infected with that thing, right? Uh, so they're actually making some comics that don't have that stuff in it, but most of them still do. I still shaking my head at DC. But regardless, far worse are the independents. If you look at the independents, the Image, um, the Dynamite, uh, the well, Aftershock, I guess, is not too doing too good. If you saw the news, it's amazing. Tens of millions of dollars in debt. I can't even imagine that even the smaller publishers make even $1 million over the course of years. Where where's the profit? I told you, the early video I did when I first started, I told you it's not about profits. Okay, the process is the goal. Right? But regardless, but amongst the indies I looked, and there's actually a lot of horror comics that people are making, but they're all infected with that thing. Maybe I'll use that term from now on. I like that. But I saw some of I guess you say the third or fourth tier publishers have actually been making some interesting stuff. So I'll go over some of them briefly uh, in this late December. American Mythology Productions, they did like the Edgar Rice Burroughs stuff. They're not really They're not really. I don't know. I'm not really too impressed with most of their stuff. They seem to have uh, licensed properties though, which is weird. But Florida Man, what can I say? Yeah. The thing too is the writer of this is Mike Baron. Right? Now, you remember Mike Baron from the '80s? Mike Baron wrote like The Flash. He wrote a bunch of comics, Punisher. He created was it Badger, right? Who was a like an insane vigilante. Really good writer. Always had a lot of humor in his stuff. Okay? If I remember correctly, in the '80s too, he was a typical like liberal of the time. But that has changed a lot, as you see. Mike has been blacklisted, just like Chuck. You've seen him frequently talking to the Comicsgate people. Florida Man, we all know the meme, right? And it's kind of funny. This is the hero, the Florida Man. Yeah, guy's just trying to make money. He has a good heart, but he's always getting into trouble. And you see, of course, Florida. You see the horrible road rage. It's very and the art is pretty decent for what it is. I don't know how to describe it. You're like, yeah, how you like that memes, honey? So, a waffle hut. Yeah, it's just funny. The dude is just uh, it's yeah. He gets into all these crazy antics. I like this one here too, where he gets into a fight with the transvestite prostitute, who he seems to know. It's kind of funny. Uh, and of course, they have a beer and they're playing pool. Saw too much there. And of course, the cool thing is his girlfriend. It's Florida, man, right? When I think of Florida, I think of liquor stores everywhere. Oh man, is that a Honda Accord? I had a Honda Accord, an '88 Honda Accord, in blue. Anyway, his girlfriend is a wrestler. Her name is Black. So like I said, it's funny. It's different. It's. I mean, to say it's politically incorrect is an understatement. I like this scene. Where the gate from the wrestling promotion, somebody stole it, right? So now they have no money, but they're still going out to a fancy restaurant. All right. Uh-oh. Florida Man's solution. Get ready to run. Run? Psh, come on, you could. What? I gotta tell you. The edit is funny too, because of course, you have another issue in Florida. You have these damn hogs, these wild pigs everywhere, these feral hogs. Like, ah. So I see them more and more too. That's why we have all these. They have all those fences everywhere for the hogs. So anyway, so it was cool, man. It's good to see Mike Baron getting some stuff here. And just as a little aside to where we're going, okay, you have like he has Substack. I keep hearing about Substack, man. I don't. I guess I gotta look into it more. But you see that the guy is still able to do some work. I like this way. He's like, oh. Oh boy, yeah, Florida man. It was funny. It was good. So. Now this, I thought this was an original story. It was just these gory, like friggin' Chuck E. Cheese animatronic things, just killing people, right? And the art is okay. It's sort of serviceable. Of course, I didn't know that this is actually a movie. This is an adaptation of a Nick Cage movie with that subject here. I just liked it because it was crazy and violent. Apparently, it's influenced by what was that? Five Nights at Freddy's. It's some kind of survival horror video game. And of course, in analog horror, you have the Walton Files. So I thought it was something similar to that. So you have these two stories going on where you have a bunch of criminally insane inmates escaping the asylum and killing all the orderlies and getting this broad. But also you have these people coming in to destroy this place, and they're getting gorily, like, killed by these, like I said, like these animatronic, characters. Very violent, I liked it, very cool. But like I said, I thought this was an original property, so I didn't understand that what was going on was not two separate things. These are these crazy people. Their souls inhabit these things. Yeah, that's the movie. I haven't seen it, so I'll go see the movie because of this. But like I said, I thought this was an original idea, but whatever, it was fun. It was gory. I like they have a more Florida Man preview. And yeah, it was pretty decent. I was surprised. Maybe I'll get the other issues of this, and I'll see the movie because of that. Hatchet. Bro, remember Hatchet? Victor Crowley, Hatchet. I remember that was actually pretty good. Retro horror, but back in the 2000s. So, Turner Comics. Now, they used to be $1. Now it's $1.99. So they're kind of like in the making comics of the 90s. I was never a huge fan of this. The creator, you all know what the publisher, excuse me, you know what he went through when the whole Comicsgate thing was going on. The guy was like trying to be genuine and trying to be fair, and he was raked over the coals regardless. There's no point reasoning with the things that are infected with that thing. But this anthology they have, particularly I'm focused on one creator, but there's some, some of the art is not good. Some of the stories I don't get, but I like the idea that you could submit your short story. So this is like old school, like back in the day where you could submit something, right? But I'm particularly focusing on this one creator. I'm actually familiar with this guy's work, and it's kind of cool. He also does this, Wolf and Batsy, right? It's like a werewolf vampire duo, right? And it's funny too. Look at this. Wow, it's like another planet now. 2001, 2003, and you see the art here, right? It's decent, but it's a certain level of art. It was actually kind of good. He's mostly does single stuff from what I see, but he has a story. What I like about the characters is that these are the protagonists, but they're not heroic, right? She, this blonde journalist, the vampire girl's trying to keep her safe so that her werewolf partner can eat her. And the problem is they run into this other dude, and of course you see it's just like, old school horror style. Right? What's cool is looking at these. Now you see the guy's level of skill. I mean, this is a story, all right, from 2004. These two run into these scumbag people, right? And very violent, and of course, there's no mercy for anybody, right? In it, The women are not. The women get ripped apart and killed as much as the dudes. But you can see that, like I said, they're not heroes. Okay? So now check this out. Right? This guy's art. And look how this guy's art. And he was always a great artist, but his art. This is now years later. Look how good his art is now. Right? Look at the style of it. It's like a retro style, but it's also mixing the gory style. And you see the characters. These two characters. This woman's haunted by something. And the characters here, they're not, like I said, they're not heroes. They kill innocent people all the time. It's just that they run into other things. Right? Yeah. Really cool, man. This guy is, like I said, this guy is an example of what I'm talking about. But alternate comics in general, you see how interactive this stuff is. Like I said, I'm always gonna have a soft spot for people trying to do it, whether it's web comics, whether it's these fourth tier. I don't even want to say that. Comics, people making it up on their own, whatever. This almost has the spirit of the 80s, the direct market, when people were making the comics on their own, sort of, at a level higher than the mini comic scene.